like J.Brock, cause I can score with a second on the clock.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy J.Brock. It's Clapitup LA. You know what I'm saying? And I'm right here with the homie Sccottie, founder and CEO of the Los Angeles-based media company Sbrbn LA, whose goal is to influence positive energy, motivation, wealth, truth, good sex, good weed, a good life, and most importantly, Los Angeles culture. In need of good eats? Then be sure to go and follow Grub Good LA for the best food, drinks, and entertainment in the city. Looking for women, culture, and excellence? Be sure to follow Sbrbn Wifey. And by now, I know you want some merch. Check him out. So go ahead and shop with Sbrbn Shop and cop that merch. He is the creator of Sccottie and Friends, where he has sat down with Kaylin For Real, Stephen G, and Razcast, just to name a few. Sccottie is college educated. He's earned his degree in marketing from Morehouse College. He's done everything from event coordination to marketing specialist, and he keeps his faith over fear, creates his own luck, and when it's all said and done, Sbrbn LA will be worldwide. Let's get it, y'all.
My dog, I'm blessed, bro. Thank you for having me, man. It's an honor.
Man. For real. Hey, it's a pleasure to be chopping game with a legend. You know what I'm saying? A young legend at that, because hey, what's good? Right now, you are in the studio section of the Z Room, where you can record your next hit. So it's time for you to pull up, get with it, or get lost. Let's go.
Yeah.
Go crazy. You have yet to hit the, you know what I'm saying, like the what you call it, the surface of what you bring into the city. You feel what I'm saying? So so I want to talk about this, man. You spoke about anxiety, you know, and this is something that comes with success. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Sbrbn LA is something that is huge, and it's only getting bigger, and we dealing with anxiety. So speak on what this anxiety is for you.
Man, that's a good question. It's something that I for a long time I didn't think was like real. I used to shut it down. Like a shorties I deal with, like, I'm going through anxiety. Like, man, like, go hard. You know what I'm saying? I used to be one of those type people. But then as the brand got bigger, I start realizing like a lot of people had their eyes on me, and a lot of like I was just waking up to people's opinions. You know what I'm saying? Saying certain things about me. Most like recently, just the competition having things to say about me. You know what I'm saying? And hearing it. So I think just knowing that, it just kind of fuck with your head. Like other people's thoughts become your thoughts, and you start hearing them in your head. You like, yo, is that me? Is that somebody else? And just knowing that people know who you are, and you not knowing what's going on.
Like he shared a story where he was in Albertsons, and he had when he said somebody with the face tats up in Albertsons at 6 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Walking up on him, but. Okay, there's a good and bad to this.
For sure.
How does it feel knowing that when you are outside, people can recognize you, because you know that can also get you a pass too, because, oh, that's Sccottie. He good, bro.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
I mean, so how have you been able to process that? When did you notice that change? Like, what was it, last year? Was it the year before? When did you notice that changed?
Just in terms of people noticing me? Shoot, really? Yeah, last year, I would think like that last quarter of last year, it started getting kind of real. You know what I'm saying? People would be like, "Oh, you that one dude." And so I would just say the last quarter of last year, it got real. People start seeing me out. You know, it be love when I'm out. It's never been nothing crazy.
Nah, for sure.
But in my mind, you never know. You know what I'm saying?
you got to stay paranoid in LA, just because we in LA, and you know, you already know the temperature out here. But you know, God bless, and you know, praying, bro. We got God cover you under His blood. You be straight all the way.
We walk in peace. Always.
Off top, bro. So I got to speak about this, man. Something that's going on right now. You said everyone say I'm gonna be successful, but it's always the ones you thought that was gonna make it that don't. You feel what I'm saying? And that's huge, because I can relate to that. Like, I can feel that right now, like this recognition. You know what I'm saying? I've put in enough work to where now people are starting to recognize the brand as well as you. So when you write something like that, bro, how do like what's your thought process in making sure that you don't fall off?
Man, I call it, or I talk about now, like our team meetings, it's just making sure you touch the line, man. I think, I used to play basketball, and I know you play sports.
Football.
And it's like when you doing them suicides, you know, certain people like don't touch the line. And it's like and that's just to say, like, making sure you always good hit your reps. You know what I'm saying? If it's 10 reps, hit 10 reps. Don't do 8 and then get like, let me just get to the accountability. Having people that's gonna be there to hold you accountable, holding yourself accountable, and just having something that's bigger than you. I think that's a big part of it as well.
Hey, that's huge, man. That was a terminology playing football. They used to make us run sideline to sideline. Yeah. To be honest, touch the line.
Yeah.
And see, as a kid, you don't realize what that's doing.
Yeah.
Because at first you're like, man, I'm tired. I'm not finna touch that line.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it teaches you to be accountable in life.
Yeah.
So like people say, well, what did football do for you? Man, that's a perfect example right there. What basketball did for him.
Yeah.
Accountability. So as a child, we got to talk about this, man. You say you were subconsciously programmed to be a hustler. Scottie, at 6 years old, was wearing rubber bands around his wrist, and and that was something that actually became a trend. Like everybody was wearing rubber bands, and then we eventually got like the swag on heme bands and stuff like that. So you would actually. Let me tell you something, hustler. In elementary school, selling donuts, video games, and candy in elementary school. I didn't know nothing about selling no candy or hot Cheetos until middle school. My boy was selling donuts. Come on, he different. Speak on that, bro. What elementary school was that?
Ivy Academia. It was like it was actually predominantly black, they say, but it was like a lot of Jewish kids and stuff at this school. And I was selling like candy, Snickers bars and stuff like that. But one thing that school did that changed my life, and one of the things I want to do is open up a school and do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
They allowed us to have periods early during that time. So we had classes and periods. Yeah. But what they did is they took one of our periods, and it was the last period of the day. Yeah. And they said, if you want to, you can create a business. But what you have to do is you got to rent out your teacher's classroom. Yeah. So we have to pay our teacher a fee every whatever it was. I don't know, that shit was so long ago. But we have to pay our teacher a fee for the day in order to rent it out. And we would bring in donuts. Me and my friend Martin Gonzalez, he gonna see this, and he's an entrepreneur now as well. Yeah. But they used to we used to bring donuts, and we called it Tyrone and Jerome Snack Shack is what we called it. Yeah, and it was based off of Dave Chappelle. But
shout out to that.
Yeah, he used to bring his Xbox. My mom would buy his donuts every morning. We bring some candy. And you'd have to pay $5 to get in. We used to rent one of my favorite teachers' classrooms. You know what I'm saying? Pay him $5, and then buy the donuts or whatever. So the kids would come cash out, and we had the club. We played music in the classroom. So we had like the best business.
Wow.
Yeah, we had the best business period on campus. And we had a competition for whoever had the best business. We ended up losing to a kid, which was genius because he had a recycling business. So he was making money all day. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
We could only make money during the period, but that's where I got that. It sparked my mind to be an entrepreneur, for real.
Bro, that's crazy.
That's
Y'all
crazy.
had a lounge situation going on.
Yeah.
Not only did they sell candy, they had a whole spot where you can come and jam and listen to music.
Oh yeah, we had the door and everything was cool. Kids only. We was at the door. It was crazy. It was lit.
Wow.
It was
well,
lit.
Shout out to that elementary school because I feel like that would be that's something that's very beneficial to kids.
Man, what?
Because, you got a lot of adults who go through school and they be like, I didn't learn nothing. They didn't teach me anything.
What?
They taught y'all something with that.
What? Bro, changed my whole everything. I was living in Inglewood, living in the hood with my mom, pop, my whole family really. But I was going to school in the Valley, and that shit, bro, I don't know who does that.
Yeah,
that shit was genius.
You were seeing Rolls Royces. You were seeing
Yeah.
And see, what type of, speak on exactly what that did to your mind, because I know there were some cars he was looking at, right?
Yeah.
He needed about 300 bands for him, and he said, all right, I'm going to double back later. See, Scottie's his guy. You tell Scottie he can't do something, that's his motivation. That's all the motivation he needs.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So speak on how important it was for you to see that growing up.
It's super important, bro. And even I didn't even realize what I was seeing, but I just noticed the changes in both of my environments. And then, especially when I was able to go to college, I was able to see more of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and even speaking on like why I created the brand, it was because one of the reasons was to really like show people what's going on, because before it was more than just LA.
Yeah.
But then once I came back from college, in LA, what's a LA nigga favorite thing? Nigga, I'm from LA. I ain't going over there. Nigga, I'm from LA. We don't do that.
Yeah.
And I came from college and I was in the Valley, so I'm like, bro, I'm seeing a lot more than LA that you need to see. You know what I'm saying? There's Rolls Royces over there, big dog, and you can get one.
It's an open world.
It's an open world.
And it's crazy because, like I went to school in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
LA has that reputation already. It's all nigga, you from LA, like you stick out.
Yeah,
always
for
because
sure.
you from LA.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's dope right there. Now shout out to Craig and Carter Magazine. This is the start of start of it all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't want to trap. Y'all wanted to live suburban. You know what I'm saying? So this is a situation where they gave you an inch and you completely took a mile and it worked out. You feel what I'm saying? So like you got to speak and create your own magazine. He was of course inspired by the legendary Complex and everything going on there. I mean, take us through what you had to take a risk there. So take us through doing that, bro. Like what made you gather the heart to go ahead and go with Craig and be a part of that?
Shit, man. We was just young dudes, just inspired. To be honest with you, at that time, I wouldn't say I took a crazy risk. It was just I just always been a creator, and we was creating. There was some dope shit that was going on, and it was just like not even Dumb and Dumber. It was just like my boy was doing it. I was like, man, let me see what's up with this, and I just kind of fell into it, if I'm being honest. But the reason I fell into it is I was always just been curious, bro. Just always just like, what is that? Always ask questions. Even if I knew the answer to it, I asked just to see what somebody would say. And then when I fell into it, it just became this thing where like I just kept it going. Like one of my gifts from God, every gift got a curse, but one of my things is like I'm just relentless. I don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Like if I put my mind to it, I stick to something, I won't give up. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons why we're here now. I've been doing this shit for like 10 years.
Hey, he's bad at quitting, y'all.
Yeah, I'm bad at quitting. I'm horrible at quitting. You know what I'm saying? Which is great with missions.
It's a good thing.
Probably bad with women, but it's, you know what I'm saying?
You got to be careful with the women when it comes to that. Now, I want to speak further on this. Like, when did you realize that you were just bad at quitting? When did you realize that?
Man, probably like last year, 2 years ago. I just started, like I'm 27, so I'm just now coming into that space, and this is gonna be so cool to go back and watch. But I'm just now coming to that space where I'm learning myself as a person and as a man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So being able to like reflect, I like to drive. Like I live kind of far out, so I like to take long drives, and I just reflect. Yeah. And it's just thinking through all my ups and downs through life. It's just like, yo, damn, you don't know how to take no for an answer. You know what I'm saying? This is when that has worked for you. Yeah. This is when that's bad for you. Yeah. Another thing that has helped me come to that realization is just like my circle, you know what I'm saying? Got homies who will be like, yo, like, you a relentless ass motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or just people pointing that out to me and me reflecting. That's one of the big things.
That's that's dope. Especially to be recognized as being relentless, because people know that you're dependable. You're always an asset because they already know Sccottie is gonna get the job done. You feel what I'm saying? So that's dope. Now, at what age did you go to the White House?
Bro, how you know I went to the White House, dog?
What age?
Damn, what grade? I was in 11th grade, I think. I don't know how old I was. I was probably like
11th grade.
Yeah,
that's good
11th
enough.
grade. I was 11th grade, man. I went on we went on a DC trip, man. Man, I had one of my favorite little axe sprays. I'll never forget that trip. We went to the White House, man.
Okay, so what was that experience like? Because I haven't been to the White House. Somebody who hasn't been to the White House, what was that like, bro?
Bro, that's crazy. You got me thinking. This is back. That's crazy. You got me thinking back. Like, that's when Obama was in thing, too. And I was like,
that's hard.
Again, I was at this white school, so they was looking at me like, well, that wasn't the white school, but they were like, you look like Obama. But anyways, it was huge, man. Again, it's just one of those things of like my eyes just getting bigger and bigger and bigger from seeing things, seeing things other than the hood. I won't say that it inspired me necessarily, but I will say it was something cool to say that I did. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard. That's hard. Now, how important do you think it is for people to get out? Because, we got a lot of people who just live in their four corners. They live in their same four corners, don't ever experience anything else, probably don't care to. How important is it, do you feel like that? Like, how can that help someone else be successful by seeing what's going on outside of the world?
Bro, it's everything. Like, that's what knowledge is. It's crazy because as a young man you don't get it, but like knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting older, and hopefully it's not too late when you learn that, but knowledge, knowing things, knowing people knowing you, and for the right reasons, is everything. It's what's gonna push you over the top every single time.
Okay, so I know that you're really into like history and things like that. What is your favorite history? Who is your favorite historian? What's that one thing? Like for me, bro, I like looking at like on YouTube. They got the History Channel stuff where they talk about the first bomb. They talk about the building ships and stuff like that. What's your favorite thing to indulge in when it comes to history?
Stoicism. And it's basically the study of just like willpower, the mind. You know what I'm saying? So I like to study Stoics. That's probably my favorite thing. I got a book called The Daily Stoic that I read every day, and it's just it's people who first started to get into developing the mind, and that's probably one of my favorite pieces of history that I like to go through.
Okay, so how do you apply that on your daily life?
Man, meditation, reflecting. There's a book, and I forget the name of it, but it talks about all the ways, the types of thinking that there is. There's reflective thinking, there's thinking ahead, all these different types. But it's just taking some time every day to think, man. And I was listening to this audiobook the other day, and it was like growth happens during periods of rest. And I'm learning now, like, your rest period is when you really grow, when you really learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you working out, you in it, you doing it, boom, boom, that's cool. But the muscles grow while you resting.
Sleep.
Yeah, when you sleep, exactly. And so that's when I find time to like really get ahead, is when I'm resting.
Okay, got you. So, with reflection. That's something that's kind of hard for us to do when we in grind mode. You feel me? You
hell yeah.
Working on the next thing. So how often do you reflect, but how long can you reflect? Because does it last for a minute? Does it last for an hour? Does it last for a day? Can you do something and kind of live and bask in the high of what you just did?
You got to do it. You got to do it daily. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, try to take your free time. You got to schedule yourself. You got to work. You got to do everything at one time. Like, this life is like everything at once. But ultimately, you got to just find a way to carve out that time to not necessarily go back and, like, I don't sit there and be like, damn, let me reflect. But I might write, you know what I'm saying? And throughout that process, ideas will begin to form in your mind, you know what I mean? Or even going back to what we were just talking about, going to see different things, your brain is like a rubber band. So once you stretch it, you can't take it back. And so you start to, your brain will correlate different things as you begin to do it on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
You might do it this day, but you might not catch it until next year.
Facts.
But it's because you stand in that mode is how it happens.
Yeah, at one point you said, I am sick by how blessed I am. You said, I'm so blessed that I am sick.
Oh, man, that's, fucking me up, man.
What is it?
Can we curse on here?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's after 2 minutes, we good. What does it mean to be so blessed? Are you ever doubting yourself? Do you ever have those moments where you're uncertain?
Man, suffering from success. I don't know if I'm uncertain. I might have moments of uncertainty, of course, but I'm a Superman. I always bounce back.
Homie said, I'm a Superman.
Yeah, I'm a Superman. I always bounce back. And again, I feel like life is everything I want at once. So, like, I am super confident, but there are parts and aspects of my life where I'm not, of course. But to speak on that, me saying I'm sick, it's just like my life is so grand, and it's just, I always think about the things that I didn't do right. You know what I'm saying? The people that I haven't always done right by. And that makes me like, damn, like, why am I, you know what I'm saying? You start to question, like, damn, am I worthy of these things? And of course the answer is yes.
For sure.
But you dive into those moments, and that's what I came from. It's just like, shit, like, I'm in it. Honest moment, like, you remind me so much of my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's like he called me the other day. I gotta call him back.
Who was that? Wendell?
Wendell, man. Yeah,
Shout
man.
out to Wendell, man.
Shit killing me. But and he called me the other day, and I gotta call him. And it's just like, it's on the back of my mind, like, you gotta call your brother, and when you don't, cause you're like, cause I'm working on da-da-da. So it'd be those things, you know what I'm saying? Or like, man, all the success, I ain't spending enough time with the family. It's like, shit. You know what I'm saying? Suffering from success, man.
Yeah, that's something that you gotta make sure that you really work on. Like, even me, like, I'm like, I gotta call my mom. I haven't talked to her in about 2 weeks. You know, I'm like, I gotta call her. But she works a job, so, that part plays a role as well. Now, Suburban LA starts in 2012. While Sccottie is in high school. 2012 in high school. What was the conversation like back then? You want to start a media brand. What was the conversation like back then?
Man, it happened after Quinyon Martin came to the school, put Craig in it. I ended up following Craig. He had a magazine called the Carter Magazine. And so,
which you took part in.
Which I took part in, absolutely. And at the time, coming from where we come from, what kind of business we always want to start? Clothing brand. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we had. We had a clothing brand called 99 versus Dope.
That's hard. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we had a clothing brand called 99 versus Dope, and we was pushing that. You know what I'm saying? Not really doing nothing. We didn't even have no clothes. We had some stickers, but the idea was there. And then once Quinyon Martin kind of came into our lives, again, this is the important thing about getting out and getting to know people. I mean, the dude had a fucking media brand, you know what I'm saying? So as a young man, I'm like, what's that? You know what I mean? I don't know what that is, you know what I'm saying? Or, I'm listening to the radio every day, not knowing that that's a media brand. I don't know. But getting kind of under him in a way showed me like, oh, you can do this. And I was like, I want to do that. You know what I mean? And then I started looking at Complex, and I realized this is what Complex is. Yeah. And so I was like, this is what I want to do. Started it, and the whole idea was just to, again, start showing people what was on the other side of the city, man.
Mm-hmm. That's dope as hell. Now, look, we always hear something about Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. Scotty considers Atlanta his second home. We got to give a huge shout out to Kale's Kitchen. Used to also do things with street execs. You know what I'm saying? And you got your marketing degree, of course, from Morehouse. Now, speak on what was your role with the basketball team in Morehouse? Because doing my research, I looked up the roster. I couldn't find you. I'm like, what the hell is he at? So, and it was 2014. I looked at 2014, 2015, and 2016. What was your role with the basketball team?
I knew the basketball players. I wasn't on the team, but one of them they would call MJ, and they used to call me Scotty. So we used to run through it, go in there, getting it cracking. Yeah. But yeah, I knew him, but I ain't made the team. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
No, we good. I still.
Because I'm over here like, I know the homie my height. So what was he doing basketball?
I definitely did try out, man. I definitely did try out, but I didn't make the cut, man.
That's okay.
They was hating on me. That's all it was.
I mean, hey, look, it's all good because we got Suburban LA because of that. You feel what I'm saying?
You're right.
You never know what would have happened had you did. So let's speak on Kale's Kitchen, man. What's your order looking like at Kale's Kitchen? Because you know he wants to get into the hospitality realm. So what is it like up there?
Kale's Kitchen. I might have to give me I'm gonna go fried chicken always, bro.
Okay, fried.
I'm always get some fried chicken. I'm really a chicken tender and fries type of dude.
Okay,
which is crazy.
Okay,
being that I want to break into the hospitality space, but I'm super simple. I'm gonna get the chicken tenders or some fried chicken with some fries, barbecue and buffalo dipping sauce. We not mixing, but we just gonna have some options.
Hey man, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing better than that Chick-fil-A sauce. Or if you go to Cane's, and that's chicken finger and fry heaven. You know what I'm saying? Cane's with that bread. Oh man.
Oh, the bread and the sauce, the best part about Cane's, man. I love Cane's.
You don't like the chicken fingers?
The chicken fingers cool. They don't really got no seasoning on there for me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, you're not lying right there. So let me ask you now.
Yeah.
Okay, grew up good LA. Give me, what is Scottie's top 5? I just want to know eat spots. Just give us an eat spot. What is Scottie's top 5 restaurant?
Joey, downtown LA, my favorite restaurant.
I want you to keep it a little more simple than that. I'm talking about, I'm going to go pick up a burger real quick.
Burger, come on, we're going to go to Tam's. We're going to get the burger and dip. You know what I'm saying? I used to live near Hawkins. Never would get out. Just send my shorty to you. Never get out at Tam's. Honestly,
hold on. What Greedo say? He said, send a home girl to get Hawkins. Hey, bro, you got to move smart.
No, you never getting out at Hawkins. But, Hawkins, Tam's, Steve's, pastrami. Oh, delicious. Yeah. What you want, 2 more? Roscoe's, of course, classic.
Roscoe's can't go.
And then let me one of the last ones. This ain't gonna really count because it ain't too LA, but I'll be tearing Dave's Hot Chicken up.
Dave Hot Chicken. Man,
I don't know where they from, but I'll be tearing them up.
You ain't had Howlin' Rays?
I never had Howlin' Rays.
Oh my God! Listen, man, this is
never had Howlin' Rays.
They ain't paying me, but look, y'all gotta go to Howlin' Rays and go ahead and wait in that line for 2 hours. Howlin' Rays is the mother freaking business.
For real, it's like that,
bro. What? I feel like Dave's
You waited in that line?
Yeah, waited in line.
Damn.
And spent $82 on 2 sandwiches, 2 pieces of fried chicken, and some of them crazy fries that they got, but it was bussin'.
I ain't gonna do the 2 hour thing, but
man, have somebody wait an hour.
I'm about to say, yeah. Have somebody wait the hour. It was busting like that.
Howlin' Rays. It's nigga.
Where's Howlin' Rays at?
Howlin' Rays is like in K-Town. It's okay. You know where the Union Station is?
Is that some LA? Yeah, is that LA like some LA staple? Howlin' Rays?
I haven't heard of it anywhere. And where y'all think it's from? You know what? I only heard of Howlin' Rays out here.
Okay, got you.
So I'll tell you.
I'm gonna check it out.
I'll tell you Howlin' Rays. I knew of Howlin' Rays before Dave's Hot Chicken or any of these other things.
Okay.
So I feel like
Dave's is new,
Rays, yeah. So I feel like Howlin' Rays is what kicked that off.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
I don't know,
that sounds like a fair assessment.
Yeah, because
you know what I'm saying?
I've heard Howlin' Rays, then I started hearing about all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So check Howlin' Rays out if you haven't.
Oh, and Louisiana fried chicken. Come on, man. That's a classic.
That's a classic.
Home of the grease bag, baby.
Yeah.
Come on.
Home of the, if the fries bag ain't greasy, I don't
want it. Come on,
man. You got to get it up out of here, man. Okay, so so let's talk about street execs, bro. How was that experience?
Street execs was cool, man. How the hell you know about street? Who you talk to, Craig?
I just pay attention, bro. And by the graces of God, I make sure I take my notes every chance I get.
Have I ever talked about street execs on a platform? That's crazy. Anyways, Streeties X was cool, man. That was out in Atlanta. We used to pop out there, man. And Craig's folks, I forget who was connected in there, but we used to pop out there. And they used to be making music, and we used to just sit back and listen, man. It was a cool time. I used to like Streeties X for sure.
Yeah,
that
was a name that rung bells too.
Crazy because I used to go in there, and I think low key subconsciously that's what inspired me to start Sbrbn Studios. So I never talked about this on a public forum, but I put up like 5 bands, and I paid it don't matter who I paid, but I paid them 5 bands to start up a studio. Didn't work out. Never put the equipment there or anything, but it was Sbrbn Studios. We had a little plaque up on there at one point. But you know, I'm not a studio owner, so we failed on that one.
Okay,
yeah.
so are you? This is something, but that's a part of the process.
That's a part of the process.
You gonna win some, you gonna lose some.
Yeah.
Are you planning on getting Sbrbn Studios started anytime soon?
Yeah, but in a different capacity, not music or anything like that, but just somewhere like we could have staff and like our team kick it. You know what I'm saying? Do things, have like artists come through. Just where we can really get our basically an office space, but we're gonna call it a studio for sure.
Okay, no, that's gonna be
Recording
dope.
and all that.
Now, I want to tell y'all something, man. With success, you got people who are gonna doubt you along the way. A teacher told you couldn't take 18 credits plus have rigorous classes and part-time job based on previous performances. And as I told y'all before, if you want to motivate Scottie, tell him what he can't do. He turned that around and got a 3.4. They told him he couldn't afford to be at Morehouse College, and he was in his junior year before you know it. Speak on people doubting you at, you know what I'm saying, coming from a teacher at Morehouse College, and how does somebody doubting you motivate you so much?
I'm just a sicko, bro. There's certain people that's like sickos like that. You a sicko like that. Michael Jordan a sicko like that. It's just one of those
Kobe.
things. Yeah, Kobe a sicko like that. Like, bro, it's times where I sit back and like, competitors, I will convince myself that they said something so that I'll go hard. I swear to God. But I don't know. It's just, I've never liked rejection. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't sit well with me. It's not like, and it doesn't always show up as like me, like, oh, now I'm finna turn up. Like, but, and you know, it might stem from like maybe some father issues or something like that now that I'm really like, not to get hella deep, but that's what I got to reflect on and maybe do some therapy about. But certain things I think that may have happened to me in my childhood, just I don't like the idea of rejection because to me, rejection equals loss. You know what I'm saying? And then in a loss, like I'm not good with my emotions sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Or at least the emotion of loss hurts me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think when I feel that coming, it's just like I just gotta start fighting. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. I think I don't like that pain, and that's probably I'm like thinking it through. But yeah, that's probably it.
That's a fact, and I'm glad that you explained that because nobody's perfect. We all have something to work on. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We all have flaws. So I, had to before me to be here today, I had to learn that about myself, and I had to learn to be okay with that. But ultimately, I had to learn how to work on it and strengthen it. Yeah. Because the same thing that could have affected me in 2018 won't have the same effect now. Because I work on it. You know
if you work on it,
and that's the one thing you got to understand. You can work on it. You can get better, but you got to be determined and understand the test ain't gonna stop because you're working on it now.
Oh no,
the test might actually come a little harder now. Because you think you're ready to. You know what I'm saying? You think you're ready to outdo the devil. Okay, the devil gonna come harder. So now you got to know that I'm ready for it. It's wartime. I'm going back and forth with you. So now. Here it is right here, man. This is a beautiful situation. I'm glad that you said that. That transparency is key so that somebody else can look at Scottie and understand as big as Sbrbn LA is and is going to be, he went through things, so I can go through things too.
For sure.
That's why I feel like transparency is so important. And like he said, faith over fear, bro. Yeah. So speaking of that, I feel like what's the number one thing that Scottie what's the number one thing Scottie has had to overcome since you got started here? What's that number one thing?
Man, I got something that I feel like I've gotten better at, and I got something that I feel like I'm still working through. Which one you want? Can't have both.
All right,
no,
give
you
me
got
one.
both.
Give me the one. Give me the one that you're still working through.
That character piece, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I could be a real big bullshitter sometimes, from time to time. You know what I mean? Nah, for real. Like, just certain parts of my character that I don't appreciate. You know what I'm saying? If I don't want to deal with something, you know what I mean, I won't deal with it. Yeah. And that is detrimental when it comes to people. You know what I mean? And so I got to work through that because it's certain people that I haven't talked to because I don't want to deal with certain things. You know what I mean? So that's like, that could be that is very detrimental. So I'm still working through that. And then the other thing that I kind of feel like I overcame was building this thing up right now that we're building is allowing other people to put their hand on it and help me build it.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
That's right.
That's the one that I am proud of myself. And it probably took up until late last year for me to get there to where I could be like, you know what? Come in and help me build this thing.
That's right.
Yeah.